Hi, it's Ryan Casey, sales trainer, Orange Theory Fitness studio owner. And today I wanted to dive in on training new staff members. Running training was always one of my favorite things to do as a manager because it really was the foundation to creating your team, your culture, and really creating the business that you want. So there are many things that go into running great training for new staff members, but training your staff effectively right from the start, it increases your staff retention. It develops culture in your business. It creates a better work environment and it increases production, revenue, and profits. Now, if you went out and asked the top 10 trainers in your industry for tips on training, it's likely you would come back with 10 different things to focus on. So today, what I wanted to do is simplify that for you and give you the whys of what you're trying to accomplish during training. At the end of this short video, I'm going to give you one actionable step that you can do immediately and will instantly increase the quality and effectiveness of your training. So make sure you stay through to the end. It's only a couple minutes. So now going back to the knowing that why, that's a huge key in training for retention, not just teaching your staff members what they're supposed to do, but why it's important and why the business operates that way. When your staff members know the why, they're able to execute the how much better and be able to accomplish the what. But do you know the why of everything you do during training? Why do you start with paperwork, or why do you start with getting to know them? Why do you teach them task A, B, and C before you teach them task X, Y, and Z? Why do you share the stories that you share during your training, right? Why do you say things in the exact way that you say them? What are the whys behind that? Some trainers have never thought of those things before. Besides, I just need to teach them how to do the job. And that's the only thing that's going through their mind. I'm going to give you a quick, easy to remember strategy on how to run great training. It's all about the 4C's of training. And I was a sales trainer for 20 years, and I always had those 4C's written at the top of my leader's guide just to remind me of why I was saying everything I was. So the first C is connection with the manager. Now, you do not have to be buddy-buddy with all your staff members, but getting to know a little about them is very important, and it can make the rest of training much easier. The more you know about them, it makes it easier to give them examples that they're really going to resonate with and help tie their task and their skills necessary in your job to their future goals, which will help create motivated staff members. If they have a good connection with you as a trainer, everything you say will be more effective. So that's the first C, is connection with the manager or the trainer. Second C is conviction in your product or your service. So hopefully you're able to hire people that have a passion for your industry and what you do. That's not always the case. So have time during training to really explain why your product or your service is the best of its type. Why is it so amazing? What makes you stand out? Why is it worth the price? All the reasons your customers love you so much. Sharing testimonials or reviews is a great effective way to help increase that conviction, especially for training salespeople. If your salespeople don't have bulletproof conviction, they're not going to be very effective, right? Especially if they didn't come to your job for sales. If you sell yoga memberships, it's likely that staff member didn't come to work for you because they wanted a sales job. They probably don't even like sales, right? But for them to be effective, they need to have ultimate conviction, not just in yoga, but in your yoga studio. They have to have that bulletproof conviction. So how much time do you spend during training building their conviction? So we have connection with the manager, conviction in your product or service. The third C is confident that I can do this. Not all people show up to a job completely committed, especially in a job market where there are more jobs than talented applicants. The job market has produced lots of options and choices. And one trend you might have noticed as an employer is that staff members, they want to do something that they feel they can do well at. They want to feel like they're great at their job. When they're not good at it, or they don't feel like they're doing a good job, basically they're not confident in what they're doing, it's generally easier for them to go find another job that they might feel better in than to put a lot of effort into improving this job where they aren't as confident, especially with entry-level positions. If you own a small business and are working with entry-level employees, you can't expect them to have the same drive as somebody's going to go be a doctor who is jumping into their lifelong career. And even with career type jobs now, you see employees jumping around find something that's easier for them, especially if it has similar or better compensation. So do you think an entry-level staff member is going to stick around in your business if they don't feel confident in what they're doing? And whenever I was running training, I would always imagine that each new staff member that I was training was like a player in a video game, and they had that little power meter above their head. But instead of a power meter, it was their confidence meter. And I would watch their facial expressions. I would listen to their tone as I interacted with them. And I could see that confidence meter fluctuate throughout training. If it ever dropped all the way down, boom, they were toast. That wasn't going to be somebody we retained. So I was always very aware of where is their confidence as I'm speaking to them. And make sure you're creating confidence in your new staff members so they feel like they're going to go out and they're going to do a great job right from the start. So we have connection with the manager. We have conviction in your product or service. We have confident that I can do this job. The last C is comfortable in the environment. And this is a simple one, but it's still often overlooked. Does your work environment make new staff members feel comfortable? Or is it uncomfortably competitive, where to the point where it feels cutthroat? Has the manager watched one too many Office episodes and is inappropriate with some of the things they say, especially to the opposite sex, a la Michael Scott, right? Are you one of those rah-rah places that forces enthusiasm? You know, I've been there before. That's actually how I learned training, was kind of forcing enthusiasm. It just never felt right, and was something I tended to change pretty quick. So it felt right, where enthusiasm was genuine and not forced. Is your workplace clean, right? Bottom line, when someone comes to work to their training, or even just in the interview, they're going to be asking themselves, do I see myself working here? Could I see myself working here? Would it be fun? And if they don't feel comfortable in that environment, they're not going to do it. So those are the 4 C's: connection with the trainer, conviction in your product or service, confident that they can do this, and comfortable in the environment. So I would write those at the top of your notes that you use when you're training people. But more importantly, here's that one actionable step that I promise will instantly increase the quality of your training. What you're going to do is you're going to go through your entire training process, your leader's guide, look at everything you cover, and more importantly, the way you cover it. Everything you do should be accomplishing at least one of the 4 C's, if not multiple. If something you're doing is not accomplishing one of those 4 C's, then you need to either adjust how you do that or just cut it completely. And when you do this exercise and you go through your entire training process under the lens of the 4 C's, you will see an instant change in the quality and the effectiveness of your training. That's it for today. If you found this helpful, go ahead and leave a comment and let me know if you have any questions I can help you with. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button, the like button, and be sure to share it with anybody who you think this might help. Help me share that sales doesn't have to be that scary, intimidating thing when you do it right. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon.